Cutelis, and I am an art teacher with Arlington Public Schools. I am making this video with 14 easy steps for maintaining behavior management in your remote classroom. These are steps to help you keep your students engaged for meaningful instruction with best practices in mind, and it helps you meet the needs of all your learners. Stay on. Okay, step 1, visuals. There is no way that you're going to keep kids engaged unless you have some visuals. Yes, you might have an amazingly gorgeous face, but you need to have some visuals. I use slides, and I encourage every teacher to use some kind of PowerPoint presentation that doesn't have like paragraphs for kids to read, but more like short questions, short statements, preferably with some images as well that match the words. And this is specifically, I guess, for all grades. I mean, I guess primarily elementary, but if you are a teacher in older grades, I don't see how that would hurt. So definitely visuals. I am a visual learner, and my eyes are always looking for things to chew on, and primarily short sentences and images. Again, do not put in giant paragraphs in there because everyone will fall asleep. To meet the needs of all your learners, you're going to also need to build some background knowledge. And that's what we do in the classroom, and why not do it in the remote classroom? Hello. So one way that I like to do that is by dedicating a ton of my slides to just building slowly the information that I need them to learn. So background knowledge. And my third tip is demonstration. There is no reason why you shouldn't be using either a document camera or another device as a document camera to show demonstration. And this is one of the amazing benefits of remote teaching, is that you're able to use close-up demonstration of things that you would do with your hands. For example, I was teaching kids how to sew in a regular classroom in a brick and mortar school, and it was really hard to teach kids how to sew in person, but in the remote classroom, I think it would be a lot easier because I have a document camera and I'm able to zoom in on what my hands are doing and what I'm writing on the board, etc. So definitely you will need a document camera. And if you don't have one, you can use 2 devices, and one of them being your camera, which then pipes the image into your device. There's tons of videos of how to do that. If it's not possible to use a document camera to demonstrate something because it's either too big or it's somewhere away from your table, you can definitely pre-record your demonstrations, and that's another advantage of remote teaching. I also love to use time-lapse video. So I set my camera on time-lapse, and I'm able to compress my demonstrations, and when I embed them into my videos, they go much faster, and they still get the same information, but it is not 10 minutes long. Number 5, preload your questions. By that I mean that on your slides, there's no reason why not to already pre-think all the essential questions that you're going to be asking. It's a lot easier putting them into your slideshow. I was doing that in a brick and mortar school, and in the remote classroom, why not? Definitely have slides in there with your questions already embedded. That way, all you have to do is engage the children with their answers, and you're much more focused on them than trying to invent a question on the spot while you're teaching online. Number 6, mute all. It is It sounds really harsh to mute all your children in your remote classroom, but it is the most humane way to teach, because even a child moving their computer or their iPad around makes a noise. So multiply that by 22 students and you are unable to teach. So mute all. If you find it, figure out where it is on your program and use it, because by muting everyone while you're presenting this, every student is then able to access the information you're trying to share. Number 7, keep your student record at hand. So I have my little handy dandy record book here, and I keep all of my students' lists right next to me, and I mark down a lot of different things. It's important for me to make sure that students are engaging me, and one day I will keep focus on who's answering my questions, and the other day I might keep track of who's sharing their work. Another day I might keep track of who's absent and who's there that day. So it's really important to keep your record list and have a relationship with your record list, because I'm teaching 400 students, so it's a really great way to just sort of manage information, keep track of data, who's there, who's not, who's engaging, and that way when it comes time for report cards, you have all that information handy. Number 8, I would highly encourage you to get 2 screens. By that I mean either a computer and an iPad. If you're on a computer, you might also log in with your phone. So what that does is it gives you access to a different view. I usually have my iPad going at the same time so that I'm able to see what it is that the students are really seeing. Some programs, when you're presenting or sharing your screen, it won't allow your face to show. So I think it's important to be knowledgeable of what it is that the kids are really able to see. So a lot of times logging in from a different device will give you that access. It's not only helpful for that purpose, but also if you ever get kicked out of one device, you are still logged in on the other device. And then the students won't be left alone in the room by themselves. Number 10, being that students are in a remote classroom, they are having very limited social experiences with other students. So I think figuring out ways to allow the kids to share the work they're doing. So one very simple way is teaching them how to share it on the screen while they're with you, but another way is finding out platforms where they can post and comment on each other's work. And of course, you're going to have to do some very direct teaching on what are appropriate ways to comment on each other's work. Number 11, making how-to videos for everything. I have how-to videos for every single thing. Mostly because that way everyone starts fresh from the beginning, and they might know how to do it, but they might not know your way of doing it. So here they're learning a new way, or they're learning it for the first time. And for that, I mean like everything from screen capturing their images, from how to take pictures of their work, how to crop their work so they're not sending you dirty laundry images from the back behind their work, or just how it is that you want things presented to you. Again, don't assume that this information is already out there. You need to be very specific about what it is that you want and how you want it. And with those, I'm going to take advantage of the fact that we're in a remote classroom, and I can just create these how-to videos and send them to your announcements or to your email. Number 12 is child-friendly objectives. Having child-friendly objectives are essential to having kids understand what it is that you're doing that day. I remember so many times being a student and class was over and I learned something, but I had no idea what the purpose of what I learned was. And that happened to me so much in math. Like, I had no idea why we were learning what we were learning in math. And I think a clearly written child-friendly objective would have been really helpful. And so every class we do start with a very simply written child-friendly objective that the kids can read along in their heads, and it basically tells them exactly what they're going to know at the end of this one class. And it's really important that the objective not be packed, that it's super simple, and that it's measurable, and that is a possibility objective for the end of the class. Like, that is an objective that most kids can reach at the end of this one class. So it's really important to just be like really finite about that objective and have it nice and clean and not be so complex. Team, students that feel successful often behave better. So one really important thing that I do that makes kids feel really successful is I write everything out. And of course, it's not a paragraph. Like I said, it cannot be a paragraph, but I do write words out. I highlight words. The advantage of having a remote classroom is that the kids are able to see the writing that you're putting out there through a slideshow or presentation or PowerPoint. And so there is no reason why you can't post everything in writing, all your questions, everything, and have them read along. I see this as a great opportunity for their reading and writing skills to increase, because it's all there and they can read it together. They can engage the words. You can highlight the words. We've always had access to this, but I think now that this is the way that we're teaching, I think we should take full advantage of it. And number 14, routines. I think it's really important to establish some routines. As the kids get older, the routines might be a little bit shorter and simpler. As when they're younger, I would pack the routines from in the beginning of class and at the end, and just sort of make some aspects of the class be the same each time. For me, with most of my classes, I will open up my room 2 or 3 minutes before and have a slide that basically tells them exactly what supplies they're going to need and to please go get those and be ready. And I will have everyone muted already, because I will have a song that is very calming playing, and it's the same song every time. Believe me, it's a fun song, but it's the same sort of calming song. And that way over time, they'll start identifying the tune and the routine to like, okay, we're ready. We're going to be really focused. And I always also say the same reading at the beginning and the same reading at the end, which is, it's a pleasure to be with you this morning, or it's a pleasure to be with you today. And at the end of the class, I always tell them that it was a pleasure working with them. And I think it just, and your message could be, of course, different. It could be another message, but I think it's important to establish routines. And those are the two that I maintain within all my classes.
So I'm hoping that you noticed with all the different tips, there's a similarity between them, and most of them have nothing to do with what you're doing necessarily in the class, with the exception of maybe the routine one. So a lot of it is just sort of like setting up a framework so that when you are with the students in class, you're able to actually be with them.
Hey, I hope that was helpful. Well, I've been making this list for quite some time now, and I wanted to share it out. And I do think we are having a very tough year, but I'm trying to stay positive, and I thought sharing the things that I've learned so far would also help others. And I'm wishing you guys a wonderful year, and I'll see you guys in June. Woo!